Everyone flees downstairs like chicks, but Emma thinks, Johnson will save me. So she charges up the rooftop like climbing a mountain. When she opens the door and steps onto the platform, she realizes the tech in front of her looks like it came straight from outer space. Luckily, the floor is strong enough. This round of free fall downs didn't cost her life. Emma's just trying hard to climb up. In the distance, Johnson's plane arrives. Seeing it, Emma feels like she spotted her savior. Just then, the building collapses, triggering a fire, forcing them to turn. After repositioning, Johnson hits the auto hover and opens the hatch to deliver Emma her sky mask. At this point, the nearby building has completely given up, gracefully collapsing right before their eyes. Run. The cloud of dust that has risen makes it extremely poor for Johnson to see ahead. He hurriedly raises the basket and hears Emma calling his name. Johnson quickly reaches out, pulls her onto the plane, but it's not the time to relax yet. The two, who leap out of the dust abruptly, are swiftly confronted with the sudden crisis. They are hit before they can even take off into the sky. Thanks to his top-notch flying skills, they manage to survive, though the number of casualties in the rubble is already countless. Meanwhile, Blake and the others find a store in San Francisco and call their dad on a landline. Johnson tells the trio to wait at Coit Tower. He'll fly over to pick them up. After hanging up, Johnson flies to San Francisco, but halfway, the engine smokes due to the earlier collision. A panicked Emma asks Johnson what to do. He answers with 2 words, chase it. With their protagonist Aura, they mostly escape unscathed, stepping out of the support plane into the unknown. Johnson makes a turn, seeing hardly anyone else, just a dog strolling leisurely down the street. Boydog really ought to begin a diary series titled My Survival Days, documenting its misfortunes. Looks like the dog on the road is the toughest little guy in this enormous disaster. When Johnson finally spots a car with an open door, just as he's about to start it, he suddenly feels a gun barrel pressed to the back of his head. After successfully starting the car, Johnson floors it, while Emma in the passenger seat can only sit there in shock. They're speeding down the highway when they notice an elderly couple desperately waving them to stop by the roadside. Emma momentarily freezes in astonishment. Unexpected robbers, right? Emma quickly tells Johnson to brake, and they get out to see what's going on. They discover the ground has been ripped apart by the terrifying fall, making it impassable. Grandpa says the nearest road is 190 kilometers away. Just as Johnson was at a loss, he noticed the aviation logo on the old man's hat. So, Johnson gives the car to Grandpa in exchange for a propeller plane. Talk about trading a car for a flying machine. Blake and the crew orderly evacuate with the crowd, but halfway there, they discover the tower they plan to meet their dad at is surrounded by flames. At this moment, they have no idea Johnson's helicopter has already crashed, prompting Blake to decide to turn back with the others. They need to find a new high point, while Johnson has already flown over San Francisco, observing the chaos below. The highway is jammed, the airport is a disaster zone, there's nowhere to land. Johnson is panicking like a fly in a hot pan. Suddenly, his gaze falls upon the stadium, and in that instant, a light bulb moment ignites within him. Emma hasn't figured out why Johnson switched to cruise mode when they start to tilt backward. Since they can't land, they'll have to try free fall. Johnson maneuvers it like a seasoned barrister making a flawless pour. Soon, they safely land inside the stadium and see the remnants of human civilization. Blake and his friends spot the unfinished building of Daniel. Just as they're admiring it, another earthquake hit. The tremors from the wall instantly demolish the surrounding buildings. Nobody can escape this disaster. Tyler falls unfortunately, with a shard of sharp glass piercing his thigh, whereas Blake tightly holds Ollie in his arms, hiding away from danger beside a parking spot. They desperately try to evade disaster, grinding for survival, living life on the edge. After enduring this wave, Blake makes Tyler tough it out as he pulls out the glass shard, and the 3 continue on, muttering to themselves. They receive a tsunami warning over the radio, and hearing the city's alarms, they hurry towards the highest tower. Meanwhile, Johnson is on a speedboat, searching for the tower where he made plans to meet the woman. Seeing the raging fire, Johnson realizes it's been burning for quite some time. So he firmly believes Blake must have gone somewhere else, and just then, he notices the dock's water level dropping rapidly. This is a sign that a tsunami is about to hit, so he quickly steers the boat to safety. No sooner than they leave the bay, they're confronted by waves that look like mountains, a true sea monster moment. Hurry! We can do this! Johnson yells, filled with encouragement. Oh no! We can manage this, come on! Emma screams, endeavoring to keep her composure. Help, hurry! Everyone is shouting with extreme anxiety, their emotions urgent. To escape the encroaching tsunami, Blake and his companions continued to climb higher and higher within the building, reaching a stone tower where they thought they could take temporary refuge, only to find out later that they had significantly underestimated the immense power of the tsunami. Faced with the rapidly approaching torrent, they have no choice but to hide behind a pillar, anxiously awaiting the impending judgment to unfold that swiftly.